I've been working on something new in the backyard, and I am so excited to be able to finally share it with you. This is my new berry patch garden, and I couldn't be more excited to have this space. There is still some work that needs to be done in and around this area, and I'm not afraid to show you the good and the bad, and I will share it all in this video. But as you can see, the first bad thing is that our pool cover is still hanging on the fence back here. This will not be staying here because we can't have the chlorine from the pool dripping into this garden when the cover is actually on the pole. So that is the first thing that needs to be moved, but my husband will be doing that. In the meantime, I was able to do all of the other work that I will share with you in this video. This whole space actually used to be an old sandbox from when the kids were little. It hadn't been used in years, so it was time that I used the space for something better. I tore the whole thing out, removed all the leftover sand, and basically started from scratch. There was already a bit of a garden here in the corner, but it needed a bit of a refresh. There's still a tree stump here along the front edge from a big tree we cut down a couple of years ago, and I had two massive hostas in here. And let me tell you, moving one of those hostas, not for the weak. I swear that one hosta was at least 100 pounds. I actually fell into the wheelbarrow trying to move it, which I really wish I had on camera because that would have been a whole moment. It was hilarious. Now, once everything was cleared out, I removed a bunch of weeds, reshaped the entire bed, and edged it out so it had a clean, defined look. I added stone edging so the space really stands out, and even threw down some grass seed to fill in a few bare spots over here in this corner and this space right here. And now this is what we have, my berry patch, and I couldn't be more thrilled about it. I've wanted to have a berry patch for a long time, but never had the space I was willing to fully commit to, and now I do, which makes this so exciting. So here's what I planted in here. I've got 4 blueberry bushes in the back corner, and one thing that's really important with blueberries is you need at least 2 and ideally 2 different varieties for proper pollination. So I have 2 Patriot varieties and 2 blue crop varieties, and I cannot wait for blueberries. I hope to get blueberries this year, but if I don't, that's okay. That just means that next year will be so much better. Then here along the back of the fence, I added 2 raspberry plants, 2 different varieties, which helps with production and gives a bit of a variety in harvest as well. And then to finish it off, I added some lavender, thyme, and a few cone flowers, yellow ones to be specific, to bring in some color and life into the space. I have 2 lavender plants here, and which have purple flowers, and 3 cone flowers, which are going to be yellow, and I think this is going to be absolutely beautiful. And then along the edge, I planted thyme, which also flowers, is also an edible herb, and it spreads and sprawls and will help cover some of this bare soil, and over time it'll really grow in, and I think this is going to look absolutely beautiful as everything grows in. I think I gave everything the space that it needs in order to really thrive. Because I just planted this within the last week, this ideally needs to be watered every single day, so I still need to do that today because the roots only go so far. They're still their little root ball, and the roots haven't spread into the rest of the soil to be able to wick up the rest of the moisture elsewhere. So really the key to thriving new plants that you've just planted in a garden is to water. I also need to add mulch to this garden, which will help keep the moisture in and is especially great for blueberries, pine mulch specifically, since they really like more acidic soil. I actually also added a soil acidifier under the plants, the blueberries and the raspberries specifically, to really help with that acidic level as well. Every year from here on out, it should just get better and better in terms of a harvest. And honestly, I'm just so excited to watch everything grow in, fill out the space, and really come to life. There are so many different types of berry plants out there. Some do better in the ground, some in containers, some are more cold hardy. So if you're thinking of doing something like this, definitely take a bit of time to research what works best in your space and in your gardening zone. Now for a little bit of the bad. I still have a little bit of a mess to clean up. I had to move the sand along the edge of the pool, which is built on sand anyways, so my husband will flatten that out and use that. And then I have the scraps from the sandbox here and here, which still needs to be thrown out and dealt with. And then over here I have some fencing and stuff for other parts of my garden. We have some pool supplies back here. All of that was kind of stored here in this sandbox area. So we still have a little bit of a cleanup to do, but I am super, super thrilled with how this garden turned out. I couldn't be happier. I also added some fairy lights in here and they go off at night. They're solar powered and they have batteries. So that's really fun to look at night. And when the grass grows in, I think this whole area will be absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this little garden transformation. Please make sure to like and follow if you enjoyed this video and follow along in my garden with me this season. Happy gardening!